Grand Rising, loved ones. Welcome back to another episode of Healing Wisdom with me, your favorite spiritual advisor, Empress Oracle. Let's go on ahead and start off with our spiritual copyright disclaimer before we go into today's message. On behalf of Starseed Galactic Federation, I have been given access to this knowledgeable information from my Akashic records for the purpose of helping humanity. This information is given directly to me as a divine channel, and any use or reproduction of this information without proper accreditation or acknowledgement from which this information was received will result in instant karma for the plagiarizing parties or individual. And so it is. Now that we got that out the way, today I would just like to come and talk to you guys about physical spiritual warfare. Because as we know, spiritual warfare is a very real thing, regardless if you choose to consider yourself as religious or if you've tapped into your esoteric knowledge and you consider yourself more spiritual and you are more aligned with nature and the universe. Either way it goes, there is spiritual warfare that is going on. And also, too, it is not just something that goes on in the spiritual realm or the 5D. It also is going on here in the 3D. And you have different entities, energies that are using people, physical people, as hosts. A lot of people that we have around us that we have known all our life, what we are starting to realize now is that they are not truly of the light. And a lot of them, their bodies have been taken over with negative energies or entities in order to block you from your purpose. And that is where the physical portion of the spiritual warfare is coming into effect. And that is something that everybody should take heed of. I don't want anybody to be naive, because even myself, in the beginning of my spiritual journey, every time I was about to make a breakthrough or make some progress, it seemed as though the darker forces, the devil, whatever you want to call them, they would actually use the people in my life that I felt were closest to me in order to try and shake my spirituality and my belief and stop me along my progress and to halt my purpose. And that is something that everybody needs to be aware of, because when you are on a spiritual journey, when you are awakening and becoming enlightened, it will be the people that are closest to you, especially if they are not spiritually evolved or if they have not found their purpose. Those will be the ones that will try to throw the monkey wrenches in your life and stop you and take you off of your path. And a lot of times that is what causes people to become distracted from their purpose or their path, because all the other elements around them start becoming shaken up, and it seems like the darker forces start trying to control every aspect of their life in order to take them off of their track. And that is where we need to focus more. That is time for you to become grounded. That is where it is time for you to call on your guardian angels and your spirit guides and to ask them to cover you in a white light of protection so that you can focus. That is when you need to go out into nature. That is when you need to start talking to your angels and your guides, whether you were raised with the belief that there are higher powers or energies outside of yourself or not. Spirituality will cause you to believe in the fact that there are elements outside of yourself that help you and protect you. A lot of times when we have near-death experiences and we wonder how we made it through it unscathed, that is because we have guardian angels and spirit guides that are always watching us. Everybody has their own spiritual team, whether they know it or not. And, the darker forces, the devil, they want you to believe that you have no protection, that you are out here facing all these things on your own. And that is where faith comes into play. If you have no faith, or if you do not know that you are divinely protected and divinely guided, and if you're not centered and balanced and grounded and in touch with your spirituality, you will always feel as though you are under attack, not just in the spiritual or in your mind, but also here, because there will be people who will see your light and that will irritate their demons. And then the devil and the darker forces will use those people to try to block you, especially when you are close to making a breakthrough or something, especially when you are close to making progress. That's when the people who are irritated by your light, that is when their demons will be activated to try and put every type of barrier in your way, to throw different types of obstacles, straight up hate. And sometimes people just straight up hate. And sometimes you would just see people who, You have known them, you have been around them your whole life, and all of a sudden, once they see you start walking in your purpose, and once they see your vibration being raised and elevated, it irritates their demons because they have not figured out how to become grounded, how to become one with themselves, mind, body, and soul. They don't have that balance. So therefore, every time you come around them with your high vibration, it irritates their demons, and it shakes up their already unbalanced inner psyche. And therefore, that is when all of a sudden it will seem as though they have verbal diarrhea, and they will confess to you their true thoughts, feelings, or emotions. But really, that is what is called projection. But that is also a form of physical spiritual warfare, because, as I said before, it will come from the people that you least expected it from. And that, whether you are the strongest of the strong, the toughest of the tough, that is going to affect you internally, and that can lower your vibration, especially if you are getting those type of attacks. I'm going to call them attacks, whether they're verbal, whether they're physical altercations, whether it's a drunken incident, because a drunk mouth speaks a sober heart. I think that's what the saying is. But whatever it is, those attacks on you, those can lower your vibration. And that is exactly what the darker forces want, because, everybody has been asleep and unawakened for so long. And now that everybody is starting to wake up and realize their true powers, their true purpose is shaking shit up. And the people who are lost, or who prefer to stay asleep, as we like to call it, that bothers them, because they do not have the strength to go on the spiritual path. Because, as I said, along the spiritual path, you're gonna go under that spiritual warfare. You're gonna go under that physical spiritual warfare, and only the strong survive. A lot of people, they choose to go to the dark side because it is easier to be in the dark than to walk in the light and in your truth, because many times you have to walk alone. And a lot of times, as I said, you end up losing the people that are closest to you. And because so many people fear being alone, not realizing that that is only a facade, and you truly are never alone, because you always have your ancestors, your soul tribe, and your spirit team with you. So you never are truly alone. But a lot of people are so afraid of being alone here in the physical realm that they would rather fold, and just keep their spirituality to a certain level to where it's maintainable. They'd rather stay inside of the box of spirituality or religion instead of expanding and broadening their horizons. And that is why it is very important, when you are going through physical spiritual warfare, not just for you to believe in the things that you can see, because a lot of people, especially spiritualists, we have a lot of tangible things that we use in order to maintain our balance and in order to maintain our high vibration. But that is also where you have to believe in the things that you cannot see. That's where true faith comes into play. Believing in the things that you cannot see, but you can feel, because you feel those feelings for a reason. That is your intuition. That is your guides, your ancestors. That is your soul tribe that surrounds you and protects you. That is them letting you know that everything will be okay. And that is why faith without works is dead. And when I say that, what I mean is you have to have faith in the unknown, okay? Which means it's unknown, but you feel it. You know that it is there. The same way that people are blessed with common sense, the same way that people are blessed with a certain level of intelligence, right? To where they can know the difference in something. If somebody's giving them false information, even if they don't necessarily work in that field, they know that it's not correct. It's the same way that you have to have that faith and that belief in the unknown in order to continue on your path, because the warfare is real. And once the devil and the darker energies and entities see that just, attacking you spiritually or in your sleep or when you're unaware is just not enough, that's when they will call their minions in. That's when they will call the people who have suppressed the spiritual side of them and whose vibration is so low, whether it is because of the drugs that they want to consume or the fast food, the processed food that has things in it to suppress people's, pineal gland, to keep it calcified so that they can't wake up and they can't truly see, whether they want to use those type of people, whether they want to use law enforcement, the justice system, the school system, whatever it is, to try to hold you back on the physical realm so that you don't have time to focus on maintaining your balance and your vibration. That's why it is important for you to have that faith and to continue forward. Every step is a step in the right direction. Always remember that. Never feel as though if one day, you're feeling balanced, you meditated, you prayed, you did your manifestations and everything, and then the next day you're not able to do all of those steps. Don't make that feel as though don't make that make you feel as though you have taken a step backwards, because as I said, each day in spirituality is going to be different. Life itself is like a roller coaster. You have your ups and your downs, your highs and your lows, but as long as you stay on the ride and enjoy the journey, because during those lows, that is when you are going to learn the most, so that once you get back up, because what goes up must come down, the next time that you have a low, you will be better prepared and know how to keep your vibration elevated. You will know, okay, during this time when I might not be able to go to this yoga class, or I might not be able to go outside to do my grounding practices and techniques because of the weather, I know that I can do this. There's other things that I can do for myself in the physical realm to make sure that whenever I go outside and these incubuses and succubuses and these little demons that are in flesh suits want to come and try to attack me and shake up my spiritual and physical well-being, I am prepared. That is the thing. There are different ways to prepare. Don't ever think that you're taking a step back just because you can't do the same things on a daily basis, because that is life. Who wants to just live a robotic, monotonous life? A lot of people who don't care to go on their spiritual journey because they know that there's a lot of work involved in it, those people, they don't mind it. But at the end of the day, those of us who are chosen, those of us who have a purpose and are called to a higher purpose, we know that we cannot truly live with ourselves if we don't continue on our spiritual journey. And I'm just saying that to let you guys know that yes, physical spiritual warfare is a real thing and everybody goes through it. I go through it constantly on a regular basis, but the same way that I tell myself is the same way that I'm going to tell you guys. Be strong and just keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep continuing, and never, never, never relinquish your faith, because once you lose your faith, it's downhill from there. So continue to be strong, continue to stay grounded, continue to pray, talk to your ancestors, talk to your guides, talk to your spiritual team, because you always have those people and things around you. And if you don't know how to pray or you don't know how to talk to them, just talk out loud, just how you would talk to anybody else. That is all. All you need to do is just to make that effort. And I guarantee you, ask Archangel Michael to surround you in a white light of protection, or whatever you believe in from whatever culture you are in. It does not matter. Same shit, different toilet. But you have to speak out loud and ask for what it is that you want in order to continue on your harmonious and sometimes shaky spiritual path, but you will make progress. Every step forward is a step in the right direction. Just keep that in mind, guys. So with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys. I just wanted to give you that quick message, and I hope that everybody has a blessed and wonderful day. And don't forget to check out my Etsy boutique, Empress Oracle Shop, where I have all types of healing crystals, and I also have details on what their uses are for, not just spiritually, but physically as well, because crystals are multi-use. So keep that in mind. Have a wonderful day, and I love you all.